When Joseph's father Jacob died, Joseph's brothers were afraid that Joseph was going to take revenge on them for what they did to him, for how they sold him as a slave to Ishmaelites that sold him to Egyptians, the Potiphar's wife and all that. So they now went to Joseph and they asked him for forgiveness. Please forgive us for all that we did. Joseph started crying and he said that, I have forgiven you. That what you really meant for bad, God meant it for good. It was really God that was sending me ahead of you people to come and save the lives of people. If Joseph did not go to Egypt, he wouldn't have been able to interpret the dream of the king. And if he did not interpret the Pharaoh's dream, then there wouldn't have been extra food for people to come and buy, and the world would have actually gone extinct from that 7 years of famine, and everybody would have died because Joseph was not there to interpret the dream. But you see, when Joseph was being sold into that slavery, it would have been easy to think that God abandoned him. It would have been easy to think that the devil is stronger than God in that situation. But yet, God was at the end of the day behind everything. You see, as believers, our assurance is not that we will not go through fire. Our assurance is that when we go through fire, God shall be with us. Paul said that all things work together for good to them that love God. So it's not that we will not face bad things. It's that we know that eventually we are going to smile. We are children of God. God sends good things our way and we appreciate it. Shall we not also appreciate it when he sends bad things? When God sends good things our way, it is to bless us. And when he sends bad things our way, it is to test us. And the way life is that in school, let me tell you the difference between school and life. In school, you are taught a lesson and then they give you a test. But you see, in life that God created, in real life, you are given a test and that teaches you a lesson. So whatever it is you are going through now, don't tell God that God has failed you. God has not failed you. God is with you. He has not left you. He has not abandoned you. And he will never abandon you. There was a man that had a vision, a genuine child of God. And when he had the vision, God gave him a message, and he saw two footsteps, two footsteps, the same size, they were walking together. And then God now told him, that is your footstep and that is mine, and I'm close with you and I'm walking with you and I'll never leave you. And the man was so happy and his heart was so filled with joy and all that. Then later in the future, he got extremely sick. He was close to death. And then he now received another message from God, that he saw one footstep walking. He now began to cry and say, God, you have left me. You have abandoned me. See, now in my worst situation, you leave me alone. Now you have shown me that I'm the only one walking. And then God told him, those were not your footsteps. Those were mine. You were too weak to walk. And then I carried you on my hands. And then you saw me walking like that. God will never leave you nor forsake you. Faith does not make things easy. It makes it possible. Faith is not a bridge over troubled waters. It's a bridge through troubled waters. And if you know anything about going into water, you need to hold your breath. And holding your breath is not comfortable. It is not going to be comfortable walking through the process of God. But it is going to be worth it. One day you will tell God that this is more than I prayed for.